Hi class, my name is Mr. Cook. I'm going to be talking to you about contraception. I also put in parentheses below it birth control because I'll be using both contraception and birth control terms interchangeably, but just know that they mean the same thing. So first, before we start, I just want to go over a few points. There's a lot of different kinds of birth control, and we'll kind of touch on all the different kinds and how they're categorized. There's only a small amount of them that protects against STIs, and there's only one kind of birth control which is 100% effective. So this chart that you see up on the screen, I've handed out a worksheet. By the time we finish the lesson, your worksheet will kind of look something like this. The only thing that I've changed that mine kind of looks different about is instead of considerations, I'm having you put benefits and disadvantages of each. So you'll have two boxes on that far right side instead of just one. But it should be completely filled out by the end of the class, and then I'll have you turn that in before you leave. And to help you guys fill out that worksheet, there's a link right here, which I'll give you guys and you guys can look at. And it shows all the kinds of birth control and contraception that are on that worksheet. And you can go through and click on each one. You can click on learn more. And this first tab will tell you what it is, how it works, and whether or not it prevents STDs, which is one of the boxes on your worksheet. And then over here, you'll find where the benefits and disadvantages are, and you'll click in here, and you can scroll down, and you can just kind of use these bold captions to help fill out those benefits and disadvantages boxes. You don't necessarily have to read through the whole little paragraphs that follow them. And then see, you got your disadvantages here. These are only the main things on this website that you kind of need to be concerned about, at least for this assignment. But if you guys want, you'll still have the link that I've given to you for the assignment, so you can go through and read through all the different kinds of birth control for your own research if you want to. And then next up here, we have a video that I'll play for you that kind of talks about the different types of birth control and categorizes them and how they're taken and how they work. It will talk about the category of hormonal. The other two categories that they won't necessarily mention are barrier and lifestyle. The barrier ones are the first two that they'll discuss, which is condom and diaphragm. And then the lifestyle ones are things such as planning and the withdrawal method and the permanent contraception that they'll talk about closer to the end of the video.
Some women or couples may not want to have a baby, or they may prefer to wait until another time. There are a number of ways for them to have and enjoy sex without getting pregnant. Let's look at some of the options known as contraception methods. Condoms. Condoms for men are thin rubber tubes that cover the penis. You can buy them at supermarkets and pharmacies. Each condom can only be used once. Female condoms are tubes that can be inserted into the vagina. They're harder to find than male condoms, but you can get them from family planning clinics, some pharmacies, and on the internet. Again, these can only be used once. Condoms help avoid pregnancy by trapping the white fluid containing sperm that comes from the penis during sex, so that it does not touch the inside of the vagina. Be aware that condoms are the only contraceptive method that can also protect you from getting certain infections during sex. Diaphragms. The diaphragm is a cup-shaped device you can get at pharmacies. It sits inside the vagina, covering the opening of the uterus, that is, the womb. Before first use, it is best to have a doctor or nurse check that it is positioned properly. IUD. IUD stands for intrauterine device. There are two types. The hormonal IUD contains a safe chemical called a hormone in a small piece of plastic. It can last for 5 years. The copper IUD contains a piece of copper, a type of metal, instead of hormones, and it can last up to twice as long. IUDs are inserted in the uterus and are removed using the string by a specially trained doctor or nurse. Your fertility will quickly return when you remove the IUD. Contraceptive implant. The contraceptive implant is a small soft plastic stick containing a hormone. It is inserted under the skin of your arm by a doctor or nurse and can last for 3 years. Your fertility will quickly return when you remove the implant. Depot injection. The depot injection is a hormone fluid injected into your buttock or arm. It can last for 12 weeks. Contraceptive pills. Contraceptive pills are medications containing hormones, which need to be taken every day. There are two types. The combined pill, usually known as the pill, has tablets containing 2 hormones. The mini pill contains only 1 hormone. Talk to your doctor about which medication would be the best option for you. Your fertility will quickly return when you stop taking the pills. Vaginal ring. The vaginal ring is a small soft ring that contains 2 hormones. Placed inside the vagina, it can last for 3 weeks. Your fertility will quickly return when you stop using the vaginal ring. It's important to know that all of these hormonal methods of contraception might change a woman's period and cause side effects, so speak to your doctor. Natural family planning. Natural family planning is where people use calendars or programs to try to guess when they can have sex with a lower chance of pregnancy. This method may not be as reliable as using condoms, hormonal methods, or the copper IUD. It's difficult to get it right because everyone is different, so speak to your doctor if you're considering this. Withdrawal method. The withdrawal method is when the penis is taken out of the vagina before the man releases sperm at sexual climax. Even if only a small amount of sperm touches the vagina, it's still possible to get pregnant. Be aware that some sperm can be released before the man climaxes. This method isn't as reliable as using condoms, hormonal contraception, or the copper IUD. Emergency contraception. Emergency contraception, sometimes referred to as the morning after pill, is used when you're worried you might get pregnant. The copper IUD can also be used as emergency contraception. You might get pregnant if there is a broken condom, missed or late pills, or no contraception used. Speak to your pharmacist, doctor or nurse about options if you find yourself in this situation. The medication can be bought at a pharmacy and needs to be taken as soon as possible if it is to work. That is, within 4 or 5 days of having sex. Speak to your doctor about the copper IUD option. Permanent contraception. Permanent contraception is when a man or woman has surgery to make sure that they won't have children in the future. For a man, it involves cutting small tubes inside his body to stop sperm from being discharged during sex. For a woman, it involves clipping in the small tubes in her body to stop eggs moving into her womb. If you think there's a possibility you might want to have babies in the future, these might not be a good option. Be aware that some of the methods in this video are more effective at reducing the chances of pregnancy than others. If you're unsure which is best for you, speak to your doctor. In the meantime, you might like to watch our other videos on how pregnancy begins and what are periods.
So, as you could see from the video, those first 2 that I talked about were the barrier methods, which is kind of self-explanatory. And then you have the hormonal methods, which they referred to them as the hormonal methods. And then you have the lifestyle ones at the very end. You have the natural family planning, the withdrawal method, and the personal permanent contraception, my bad. And those are kind of self-explanatory too, because those are kind of changing your lifestyle. Does anybody have any questions?